Hey guys, so here we go. We're gonna watch some weird slides.
This is your living room / yoga shanty / regional office / and this is the basement / panic room. Maybe what your family
Guys,
needs is a
maybe you won't
vacation
see
home.
it so well.
Epilepsy warning for flashing lights and colors. We've talked about many weird and obscure roller coasters before on this channel, but there are just so many of them out there, they deserve more than one video. Recently I conducted a poll with my viewers with several bizarre roller coasters to choose from. So as voted on by the fans, here are just some of the many unusual roller coasters ever built. Number 10,
Gosh,
Inversa, Brazil's Aqua Locos. Made in-house by the park. Located on the South Brazilian coast, Aqua Locos is a full-fledged resort with a hotel and a plethora of entertainment options. The resort features a paintball arena and even helicopter rides. As if all of that wasn't enough, there's also a small amusement park for guests to enjoy. This park features a variety of attractions, but only one truly stands out for its strangeness. Introducing La Inversa, an inverted shuttle coaster that was actually made in-house by the park itself. Since it was made independently, the ride comes with a few unique quirks to it. First of all, the track structure looks like less of a roller coaster and more like a dead-end electrical tower. Second, take a look at the front car. For some reason, the back half of a seat completely blocks the view from the front. It's unknown why it's there, and it's a peculiar design choice to say the least. Moreover, the restraints are made entirely out of metal, something you usually don't see on roller coasters. The ride itself is as simple as can be, with guests being lifted forwards onto one end before plunging backwards towards the other. The train rocks back and forth for a while before the ride slows down enough to activate the brakes. As of right now, it is the only operating inverted shuttle coaster in South America, and one of only 5 operating inverted coasters in the entire continent, so it's a pretty rare find worth checking out. Number 9. Looping at France's Parc St. Paul. Made by French manufacturer Soket. This is one coaster that the park would undoubtedly like to forget about. Powered coasters usually use contacts on the rails to send electricity to power a motor on the ride vehicle, allowing it to be less dependent on gravity and have more of a compact.
So guys, this is a twirl. I don't get, we listened to the guy a little, but look at that. Okay, let's get back to hearing what he's saying.
The use of electrical power and several small motors on the train, this coaster was able to forego a small lift hill and send riders zooming through the course right from the start. The train would start by maneuvering an upwards helix straight out of the station before speeding up further on a section of straight track. After a bank turn to the left, the track heads downwards towards the vertical loop. Although the first part of this loop is powered, the train completes the rest of the course with its own momentum, making this a partially powered coaster. The train would then maneuver the course for a second time before stopping at the station. After a lengthy run of the French fair circuit, it would be moved to
Guys, I'm sorry if it cuts out. I'll make a part 2 if I must.
It seemed like a rather unique and
because my
entertaining
camera
roller
time
coaster at
sucks.
first, but just 2 years after it opened at Parc St. Paul, disaster struck. On July 17, 2005, one of the cars actually derailed during the loop. 4 people were injured, and the ride was closed shortly afterwards. After a year of sitting standing but not operating, it would be removed from the park. Number 8. Los Simpson at Spain's Holiday World, made by an unknown manufacturer. Not to be confused with the acclaimed theme park in Indiana, Spain's Holiday World is a small amusement park on the island of Gran Canaria. This park once featured a coaster that pretty much had copyright infringement written all over it. This kiddie coaster named Los Simpson is named after the long-running animated series The Simpsons. While the bottom of the ride structure does feature illustrations of Simpsons characters, the rest of the ride has nothing to do with the series. Let's look at the train from front to back. We have Simba, Adam West's Batman, Disney's Big Bad Wolf, the Red Power Ranger, and Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If the Sense of Right internet meme was a coaster, this would be it. You can also find illustrations of several Disney characters on the ride structure, and you really have to wonder what went into the design process of this ride. Most likely, this was originally meant to be a traveling fair coaster, drawing kids to ride it with its many colorful characters. And it's unlikely any major media company would bother claiming copyright infringement over a small kiddie coaster in the Canary Islands. Sadly, this This head-scratching masterpiece was removed in early 2019 as an effort to renovate the park. It is unknown what will happen to it, but we're very lucky to have it documented. Number 7. Zipline Express at Ohio's Putton Pond Speed Park. Made by Canadian manufacturer Bailey Rides. Some roller coasters are wooden, some roller coasters are steel, but did you know that there was once a plastic coaster? You may remember the Auto Sled from my 10 rare and unique roller coasters video. This now extinct coaster model featured small plastic sleds that each sat one person, and guests would strap themselves in with a seatbelt. In 1986, the first Auto Sled debuted at Fostoria, Ohio's Putton Pond Speed Park. While the structure and ties were made of steel, the rails were actually constructed from plastic PVC pipes. Yes, the same material that hooks up septic systems. This is the kind of thing you'd see on a backyard coaster, and not one you'd see at an operating amusement park. Nevertheless, the ride proved to be quite popular and would operate all the way until the early 2000s. It's unknown how the park maintained the plastic rails, or why exactly the coaster closed, but the fact that it existed is truly fascinating. Number 6. The Rollerball model, made by Swiss manufacturer Ride Engineers Switzerland.
That looks
Remember the
bad.
Dizzy Dropper from Roller Coaster Tycoon 3? Well,
No.
14 years after the game came out, this roller coaster would become reality. In 2018, Ride Engineers Switzerland would introduce the Rollerball, a family coaster with one of the most unusual designs you'll ever see. Passengers board the ride vehicles at the bottom, sitting parallel to the sideways track. They are then sent up a vertical lift before descending into the course. The layout consists of several sharp downwards turnarounds, making it resemble a wild mouse flipped on its side. With each dip downwards, a brake is applied. Ordinarily, putting a brake at the drop would kill a ride's fun factor, but there's a special reason for this braking system. The ride vehicles are designed to swing back and forth, but not flip. Hitting the brakes causes a sudden shift in momentum that causes riders to swing even more than they would without the brakes. This allows the ride to be more enjoyable to families, and even a few hardcore enthusiasts say the ride was better than expected. The first of these coasters would open at Germany's Schwaben Park. This ride, named Wilde Hilde, would be themed to a chicken coop, featuring several chickens scattered throughout the structure, an egg display in the queue line, and a rather eccentric theme song. Just take a listen to this.
Paka, 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 paka.
Yes, that is a clucking sound. Pretty awesome if you ask me. More recently, a much bigger rollerball would open at France's Parc Spirou and would be themed to the Franco-Belgian comic character Marsupilami. Still though, while the one in France is bigger, Wilde Hilde's more elaborate theming makes it stand out much more. Look for more rollerballs to be installed in the coming years. Number 5. The Gliding Coaster model, made by French manufacturer Reverchon. Imagine taking a wild mouse and reimagining it as a suspended coaster. That's exactly what French manufacturer Reverchon did with this creation. Currently exclusive to traveling fairs, there are only 2 of these coasters operating in the entire world, one named Ala Delta and the other named Eurocoaster. Both of these coasters feature one-row trains that each seat 4 people. Just like a wild mouse, the course features several switchback turns and a few dips. However, the ride vehicles have the added bonus of rocking guests side to side. For every turn, you'll find yourself swinging in the opposite direction. Another unique aspect to this ride is the queue line. At its annual installation at London, England's Hyde Park Winter Wonderland, it is rebranded Christmas Coaster and features a funhouse-style queue line complete with rollers and rotating platforms. Despite its standout features, though, the ride as a whole has received a negative reception from enthusiasts. YouTube user Changa says, "It's horrendous. I'd recommend it for the credit, but every time it banks, you get lurched forward, then rattled to death in the corners." YouTube user Swant No Limit says, "It felt like they threw out the designer halfway through the development." And another Swiss YouTube user said, "The drops are really fun, but the rest is kinda boring." Despite this criticism, though, Chinese manufacturer Golden Horse released their own unauthorized version of this coaster. But would you believe that the knockoff version is actually considered to be better than the original? Notable enthusiast Richard Bannister agrees. Although he was a harsh critic of the Reverchon version, Bannister said the Golden Horse version, quote, "had one rough transition towards the end of the course, but for the most part was good fun. It just goes to show you can't judge a coaster by its manufacturer." Number 4. The Illusion model, made by Dutch manufacturer Vekoma. Once upon a time, Vekoma created a brand new family coaster coaster model named the Illusion. Since then, it has become known as one of the most unique and bizarre indoor roller coasters in existence. First opening at Tennessee's defunct Opryland as Chaos, only 2 of these rides were ever built, and the only one remaining is Revolution at Belgium's Bobbejaanland. This coaster model is notable for having an insanely long train. The one on Revolution has 30 cars, and the one on Chaos was even crazier at 40 cars. That's quite a lot of passengers. As a result, this coaster has a maximum capacity of around 1,200 riders per hour with one train alone, which is just 300 less than the capacity of Fury 325 at Carowinds. In addition to the lengthy train, the layout itself is equally unusual. Starting off with a long spiral lift, passengers can view a projection screen on the ceiling as dreamlike background music plays. After the lift, the train descends a long layout consisting of a long, wavy, downward spiral, with the ride ending shortly afterwards. The ride experience isn't going to blow you away, but its distinctiveness alone makes it a must-ride for rare credit seekers.
Grammarly helps make your writing clear and concise.
That's where we're going to stop, guys. Hope you guys liked the video. Peace. Like and subscribe.